I'm not surprised that there's such a high rate of suicide, with men. There is no space for men to be vulnerable. There is no space for men to express how they feel or to seek help or to be an emotional, fragile human being. For a number of years, I would only cry if it was a very significant, upsetting event. And I think that in retrospect, and even now, recognizing, wow, I'm not feeling great, I'm feeling upset about something. What is that about? Letting it out, talking about it, and then, realizing that afterwards, you just needed to do that, you just needed to talk about it, you just needed to cry about it, and now I don't feel so bad. Wow, that's a good home for it to live in, a snail shell, isn't it?
I know. Maybe in that bush.
What about here, in this bush? With emotional expression, it did change after I started testosterone. I used to be able to cry more easily, more often. So I do think it has had a physiological effect on my emotions. However, I'm still a sensitive person, and if I need to cry, I try to be aware of it and I try to create space for it. So I do think it can be a learned behaviour. I've had to re-educate and relearn to be able to express my emotions since I became a man. Can I go on? Can you take me on a ride?
You're too big.
I don't know, look at this. Yeah, so I was assigned female at birth. And what that means is that even though I grew up and was socialised and on my birth certificate it said female, actually my gender identity internally is male. So for me to transition, it meant that I took the steps that I felt I wanted to take to be able to affirm my gender identity. So for transitioning medically or physically, that means going through a physical transformation, supported by doctors, hormone therapy, surgeries to become, who I want to be and make sure that my body matches how I feel on the inside. Look, your eyes are spinning around. Hello.
I like to be with somebody who has an ability to have self-awareness. And I thought he's had to have a lot of self-reflection. So that's a good starting point.
I like to see more and more great examples of male role models, really speaking with truth and from a place of integrity. And I hope to be able to model that